And before I begin the next story, I want you to watch a video and watch closely.
I would say, really, if you have a secure faith and you walk in it, I feel that your life will be full of joy and peace and love. And I would really suggest that there's no other way. There's only one way. Walk in it and keep walking on.
This is Marina Smith. She's dead. But what you just saw was Marina Smith speaking at her own funeral. She also took questions from the mourners. The dead woman answered them at length, and none of it was recorded beforehand. Watch again.
How did becoming a grandparent change you?
Oh, I think it brought immense joy into my life.
So what just happened? This was artificial intelligence making an absolute mockery of the sanctity of death. This was artificial intelligence being creepy pro max.
I was at my funeral. I'm so pleased that I met so many good people who influenced my life, and I had a happy family life. I had a husband, and I feel my life was planned in that by the Almighty One. And I feel it's coming to conclusion under His guidance, because my work here is completed.
Marina Smith's son brought her back to life. He created this technology to involve creating a digital clone of a living person and then asking her a series of questions. Based on her answers, AI is trained to interact on her behalf. Basically replace her in death. Marina Smith was one of the first ones to use her son's creations. This is her in January, 5 months before her death. She devoted 2 whole days to answering questions, all sorts of questions. She sat in front of a webcam, feeding the AI with important details about her life. Marina died in June. But then she returned to speak at her own funeral. The mourners were reportedly shocked. I wonder why. Look at them. They're watching and they're interacting with the woman they have just put to rest. Am I the only one who finds this creepy? This disturbing technology is now available for public use, which means the dead will soon frequently be speaking at their own funerals, which also means that some people will never get closure. If you've lost a loved one, you would agree with me when I say that one of the first stages of grief is denial. It is hard to come to terms with the fact that a living person is suddenly gone, that he or she is suddenly being spoken of in the past tense or is being called a body. It seems impossible to process this transition. So for the most part, we remain in denial. The problem with technologies like these is that they feed into that denial. They make you believe that the person is not really dead. Look, she's here. Look, she's talking to you, answering your questions. How could she be dead? Technologically, it's a remarkable feat. Full points for getting the dead to speak at their funeral. But what about those who are alive and those who are mourning the dead? What does it do to them? It throws their mental health off gear. It interferes with the process of grieving. It risks mental illness. And I will tell you why I say this. You see, while there is no timeline for grieving, it is a process that one must go through. They say it begins with anger, followed by denial, bouts of crying until you begin to move on and finally get a closure. But technologies like these may not let you get to that phase. A person may keep going back to their laptop and speaking with the dead. You must have heard of stories of people living with a dead body. We recently told you about one. A man from Thailand who lived with his dead wife's body for almost 2 decades. It's not normal. It's disturbing. And this isn't too different. Do you know what scares me? The technology we're calling creepy today is fast becoming the new normal. In 2020, AI reunited a mother with her dead daughter. This is Jang Ji-sung. She lost a 7-year-old daughter in 2016. The young girl had blood cancer. Years later, some documentary makers offered Ji-sung the opportunity to reunite with her daughter. Which mother would possibly say no? Ji-sung was asked to wear a pair of virtual reality glasses and see her daughter. The girl emerged from behind a pile of woods. "Mom, where have you been?" she asked. "I've missed you a lot. Have you missed me?"
어딨어?
엄마! 엄마! 엄마 어디 있었어?
엄마 항상
엄마 내 생각했어?
맨날
아니
해.
엄마 많이 보고 싶었어.
엄마도 너 보고 싶었어. 많이 잘 있었어?
나 예뻐? 예쁘지?
너무너무 예뻐 우리 나연이.
What was the point of this? What was the point of reopening old wounds, of bringing back old trauma? Do you think it will be easy for this mother to forget the experience, to move on from it? The documentary makers got what they wanted. The project became the talk of the town in South Korea. But the mother, for her, the cycle of grieving began all over again. Soon, Amazon too will be monetizing your grief. It is training Alexa to speak in the voice of your dead relatives. Amazon's top scientist spoke about this plan at a recent event. He even gave a little demo. A video was shown where a young boy's grandmom had died, leaving her reading of The Wizard of Oz unfinished. After her death, the grandson asked Alexa, "Can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz?" Here's what happened next.
Alexa, can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz?
Okay. But how about my courage? Asked the lion anxiously. You have plenty of courage, I am sure, answered Oz. All you need is confidence in yourself.
This is not only a mockery of death, but also of the loved ones the dead leave behind. This technology is playing pranks with people's emotions, tugging at your weakest strings. Do we really need these technologies? Must we really blur the line between life and death? Let me ask you a very simple question. Would you rather live in denial forever and let your life end with the death of a loved one? Or would you move on with fond memories of the time spent with that person? What do you think is the healthier thing to do? I think you have your answer. Don't let businesses tell you otherwise. Don't let businesses profit from your pain. I think that's a lot of food for thought. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.